Hello students. So far we were discussing the degree of static indeterminacy of different types of structures. Now hereafter I am going to discuss the degree of kinematic indeterminacy of structures. Now structural analysis. Structural analysis deals with the determination of reactions at supports, internal forces and displacement components. Now determination of reactions at supports is related with the degree of external static indeterminacy. The determination of internal forces in the members is related with the degree of internal static indeterminacy, whereas the determination of displacement components is related with the degree of kinematic indeterminacy. Now we know that whenever any structure is loaded, each and every point on the structure undergoes displacement. It may be deflection or slope or both at a certain section. Now the question is, at which position, at which point these displacement components are to be considered. Now as far as this chapter, that is kinematic indeterminacy of structures, is considered, we are going to consider the displacement components at a joint only. And here in this chapter we are going to define a joint in a convenient manner. What is a joint? Now joint can be defined for this particular chapter like this. Joint, it is a point where two or more members intersect. So it is the point of intersection of two or more members, or it is the point where the two or more members meet. So that point we are going to consider as a joint. Second, the point where the supports exist. So wherever support is there, we are going to consider that point as the joint. And the third, free end. If there is any free end, we will have to consider that free end also as a joint. So there can be these types of joints. First, the point where two or more members intersect or meet. Second, the point where the supports are provided. And the third, the free end is also to be considered as a joint. And will be restricting our displacement components or study of displacement components to these joints only. Now what is kinematic indeterminacy? This is the next question. Now kinematic indeterminacy or degree of kinematic indeterminacy is nothing but number of unknown joint displacements, which is also called as number of degrees of freedom. So degree of kinematic indeterminacy is nothing but the number of unknown joint displacements. So if one wants to know the degree of kinematic indeterminacy, he should get, or he should calculate, or he should determine the number of unknown joint displacement. And how the joint is to be considered, that we have discussed. Now these number of unknown joint displacements are also called as number of degrees of freedom. So number of degrees of freedom is nothing but the number of unknown joint displacement, which is in turn is the degree of kinematic indeterminacy. Now how many types of joint displacements are possible? That is the question. Now any joint, it can have two types of displacement components. One is the translation and another is the rotation. But again, we are in a habit of working with x and y axis. So translation, we consider it in two manners. One is the translation along x axis and another is the translation along y axis, which is the displacement. So delta x and delta y are the two types of translations, and theta is the rotation, which can happen at each and every joint under consideration. So three types of joint displacement. So remember it well, how the joint is to be considered, what are the different types of displacements which can happen at the given joint, and third, what is the degree of kinematic indeterminacy. Again, here we have made the definition of joint like this. It is a point where two or more members intersect. Now when two or more members intersect, the joint may be either a pin joint or the rigid joint, or it may be certain another kind of hybrid joint. But here I am restricting our discussion to pin and rigid joint only. Hybrid type of joint I will be discussing in a separate video. So this first joint, a point where two or more members intersect. So at such point there will be either a pin joint or a rigid joint. Now that joint, it may be a joint of 2D frame or a joint of 3D frame. So when it is a case of pin joint, so type of joint, pin joint, 2D frame, degree of freedom, that is the possible types of translation are two, that is delta x and delta y. We know that in case of a pin joint, all the members are in case of pin jointed structures, all the members are considered to be straight and the loads are applied at the joints. If these two conditions happen, then each and every member is subjected to axial forces only and no joint is subjected to rotation. So in case of pin jointed structures, rotation do not happen. Whether it is a 2D pin jointed frame or 3D pin jointed frame, theta is absent. When it is a 2D pin jointed frame, two types of translations are possible, that is delta x and delta y. 3D frame, three types of translations are possible, delta x, delta y and delta z. No rotation in case of pin jointed frame structure. When it is a rigid jointed frame structure, when it is 2D frame, delta x, delta y means the translations along x and y axis respectively in the plane, and theta, that is rotation in the plane, is present. So three types of degrees of freedom are there. In case of rigid jointed 3D frame, 6 degrees of freedom, 3 translations and 3 rotations are possible. Delta x, delta y, delta z, theta x, theta y and theta z. So when two or more members are meeting at a joint, the members may be connected to one another either by means of a pin or by means of a rigid joint. As such, the degrees of freedom can be obtained from this table. So remember it well. So that is all about the point where the two or more members are meeting. Then the point of support. Now there are different types of support which can be provided. So I have listed all these supports. First is the fixed support, then hinge support, then roller support, free end, horizontal shear release and vertical shear release. When it is a case of fixed support, there is neither translation nor rotation. As such, delta x, delta y, theta all are 0 at the fixed support, and we say that degree of freedom for a fixed support is 0. In case of hinge support, so it is the notation by means of which the hinge support is shown. Now this is the hinge support, and here the translation is not possible because the support is going to provide a reaction in vertical as well as horizontal direction. So delta x and delta y both are restricted, and the only type of displacement which can happen is the rotation. So theta is possible, and we say that hinge support has a single degree of freedom. So degree of freedom for hinge support is 1. Roller support. In case of roller support, the reaction provided is always perpendicular to the plane on which rollers are resting. So if rollers are resting on horizontal support, reaction will be vertical. As such, the translation along vertical direction is restricted, but the translation along horizontal direction can take place. So delta x is possible. At the same time, rotation is also possible. So two displacement components exist, and we say that roller support has a 2 degree of freedom. Now when it is a free end, now free end can translate along y-axis, it can translate along x-axis, at the same time it can undergo rotation also. So all the 3 displacement components are possible, and we say that free end has a 3 degrees of freedom. Horizontal shear release has a single degree of freedom because the movement is possible along the horizontal direction only. Whereas vertical shear release, the movement is possible along the vertical direction, so it also has a single degree of freedom. Now here, so we have gone through these two as well as the third also. So we know how to get the degrees of freedom in case of a pin joint and rigid joint. We know how to get the degrees of freedom in case of different types of supports. Once you understand this, we can go with the different formulae which can be used over here. Now in case of beams, the kinematic indeterminacy dk is given by 3j minus r if all the members are extensible. So axial flexibility, if it happens, then beams, its kinematic indeterminacy can be obtained as 3j minus 4. If some members are inextensible, there may be some members which are inextensible. So if it is mentioned, then dk is equal to 3j minus r minus m, where m is equal to number of axially rigid members or m is equal to number of inextensible members. So these two formulae can be used to get the degree of kinematic indeterminacy of beams. Pin jointed structures, dk is equal to 2j minus r, dk is equal to 3j minus r, 2j minus r for 2D structure, 3j minus r for 3D structure. And in case of rigid jointed structure, dk is equal to 3j minus r, dk is equal to 3j minus r minus m if it is inextensible. For extensible, 3j minus r. When there are some members which are inextensible, degree of kinematic indeterminacy gets reduced because there are some inextensible members. So m is equal to number of inextensible members. So these two formulae are to be used for 2D rigid jointed structure. For 3D rigid jointed structure, dk is equal to 6j minus r, dk is equal to 6j minus r minus m, r is equal to number of unknown number of reaction components, and m is equal to number of axially rigid members. So this is how we can get the degree of kinematic indeterminacy if it is given that the members are extensible or inextensible. Again, one more type of structure is remaining, which is the hybrid structure, in which some joints they may be hinged and some joints which may be rigid joints. Now I am going to discuss the degree of kinematic indeterminacy of hybrid structures in a separate video. So in the next lectures, hereafter in the next lectures, I am going to discuss the degree of kinematic indeterminacy for beams separately, degree of kinematic indeterminacy for pin jointed structures separately. So don't miss the forthcoming videos, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Thanks.